I have to do like a little dance for you guys. This is all pretense, guys. I'm not feeling too upbeat. I'm not even going to lie, but I have to show up. Anyways, welcome to my channel today, guys. How you guys doing? How was your week? It's Saturday and it's the weekend. Yay! 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 Some of us are not so excited about the weekend because our weekend is like non-existent, sort of. But anyways, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Life with Bernice. And if you have not yet subscribed to my page, please hit the subscribe button and also put on your notifications so that you can get notified whenever I release a new episode. Anyways, I am talking about how I am healing my attachment style. And once you hear that, you already know that it's leaning more towards one of the unhealthy attachment styles. Don't you dare judge me. You, yes, you. Anyways, so do you ever feel a strong fear of abandonment or rejection, or do you overanalyze text messages, people's tone, or their distance, or yeah, basically distance, whatever distance means to you. Like if people feel distant, all of a sudden you overanalyze it and stuff like that. Do you seek reassurance but not feeling soothed enough by the reassurance that you get anyway? Do you find it difficult to self-regulate, and when connection feels unsettling, you find it very difficult to self-regulate in that place where you are? Then you may be anxiously attached. And a lot of people are anxiously attached. It might not be extreme, it might not be all of these things I just listed, but a lot of us, even yes, a lot of us adults are anxiously attached. And it's no fault of yours. So don't blame yourself, but there is a but. But let me just say this before I say the but. Okay, so this developed basically because of the connection that you had growing up as a child or when you were younger. It was inconsistent, or you did not have that emotional safety earlier on in life. We're not blaming anyone for that. We are um, adults now, basically. But anyway, so due to that, you are you are now in a place where you have to feel you must stay alert to keep love, right? You have to be hyper alert to make sure that you are keeping the love, or make sure you're getting the love the way that you want to get it. Um, Now onto the but. The but is we're adults now, and we're responsible for ourselves and the way that we show up. So we need to work on ourselves, and we cannot blame anyone for whatever. It is your responsibility as an adult to grow up and do the work. Ta-da! I'm sure you're not surprised to hear that. Anyways, so let me just brush through the different four attachment styles that we know. I mean, most people know this. It's basically you have the secure attachment style. Basically you're comfortable with closeness and independence, right? So you're comfortable getting close to people, and you're also comfortable staying by yourself, right? You respond calmly, you communicate your needs clearly, and you trust connections, basically. So that's the one that you would refer to as your secure attachment style. The anxious attachment is basically you crave closeness and you fear abandonment, basically. So you always seek reassurance and you overthink distance, like I said initially. And then we have the third one, which is the avoidant attachment. Basically you value independence and you avoid emotional closeness, right? You pull away when things are getting intimate. You know, when it's getting serious, you're like, oof, gotta go. Anyways, fearful avoidant, that's basically the disorganized one, right? It is, you want closeness, but you are afraid of it, right? So it's like a push and pull type of thing. So you're getting close, next thing you're getting avoidant, and then you're getting close, and then you're moving back. So it's kind of like push and pull type of thing, and it gives mixed signals. So that's the fearful avoidant, right? So to just give like a one liner definition of all of them, it's if you're secure, basically you're okay with connection, like connections feel safe to you, right? Anxious is connections feel very fragile. Avoidant is connections feel overwhelming to you. And then if you're fearfully avoidant, it's connections feel really unsafe for you. Anyways, in the past, a lot of my own struggle in relationships, um, or basically, I feel like in the past, for me personally, the struggles that I've had in relationships stems from a place of my attachment style, and or trying to now suppress it. Because what happens is, if you are anxiously attached, or if you're tending or leaning more towards being anxiously attached, which is where I am, even though I'm growing from it, and I'm putting a lot of work, honestly, and I'm still putting in the work. I'm not like there yet. Anyway, so what happens is, if you meet people who, or you get into a relationship with people who are with friendship, platonic, romantic relationship, business, whatever kind of relationship, I'm not specific on which one particularly. What happens is, of course, you people see that you're anxiously attached. They can feel it. They can, because you embody certain traits that they see, right? And then if you happen to be an avoidant, what happens is they complain about it. Obviously, you see their reaction. They might not speak about it, but the reaction to the things that you do tells you that, oh, they're bothered by it. So sometimes you try to like suppress it. So what this now does is it makes you um it's the suppressing this your emotions basically leads to, eventually leads to resentment and, stored up anger that could unleash at some point, because there's only so much you can do to suppress who you really are. So that is how this has manifested for me in the past, right? Of course, it's led to some internal struggles that, like I said, would manifest as maybe, resentment or being upset or angry. Anyway, so here are some ways I have learned and I am still learning to correct my attachment style. One, the most important one for me is I'm understanding or learning to understand what anxious attachment really is and how it shows up for me in my own life. How does it show up? So I'm basically looking at how it shows up, and I can say, okay, this is my anxious attachment style showing up here. Number two, I'm learning to self regulate before seeking reassurance, because what happens is, you, as someone who is anxiously attached, you have heightened emotions, and sometimes it could cause immediate reacting immediately. You want to be soothed, you want to get that reassurance, and you want it right now. So you might try to, like, confront, I want to say confront or reach out to someone before you have self-regulated. So what I have learned to do is make sure that I have self-regulated first before I go on to seek reassurance or to talk about it. So basically, secure attachment is, well, if you're securely attached, right? If you've grown for this and you're securely attached, you have the ability to soothe yourself first, then reach out from a place of clarity rather than panic, right? So that's how it would manifest if you have grown from that lack of self-regulation to being securely attached. So the lack of self-regulation is, you're still in that place of being anxiously attached, right? So when you grow from that to the other side, you're able to soothe yourself first and come out of the panic mode before you reach out, basically. The third thing that I learned to do is separate my feelings from the fact. Separate my feelings from facts. This is so, so important. I remember there's a person that I used to date before, and like I told you, or like I think I have mentioned it, like, you're anxiously attached. You have the tendency to overanalyze text messages. Basically, you overanalyze people's body languages, people's tone, text messages, all those things. So I used to be in a relationship, and they would send, I think that partner that I was with was definitely avoidant, because they would retract, and they would not want to, like, confront the issue and whatever. So they'll send a text message, is always straight to the point and kind of cold. And I am emotional, and I would go on and analyze the messages, and they'll be like, "It's just a text. How can you read my emotions from the text?" I'm like, "But I can read your emotions from the text. What do you mean?" Like text messages also carry emotions, in my opinion. But anyways, so I've learned to, and I'm learning to separate my emotions from the fact, because it could really just be a text message the person is trying to, or a message the person is trying to communicate to you, and there you are overanalyzing, giving meaning to what is not there. So that could be detrimental. That could cause unnecessary problems that are not supposed to even exist. Anyways, so anxious attachment forces emotions. You force emotions with the truth. Basically, you mix emotions with the truth. So sit down and ask yourself, what is the fact here, and is this just my emotion playing out here? Anyways, so you're going to basically ask yourself, what am I feeling? Is it fear? Is it loneliness? Is it uncertainty? What do I actually know? So, what are the observable behaviors, not imagined meanings, not you giving reading or reading meanings to things? What is the fact on the ground, basically? So, that's something that would also help. Okay, so number four is, and by the way, going back to point three, I'm not saying that you should invalidate your feelings, because it's good to be intuitive. It's good to be discerning, of course. And the people who intentionally are, do things and try to play on your intelligence. So you need to set the balance. I think it's life. You need to learn how to set a balance, basically. So it's not invalidating your feelings that are true and legitimate, but it is just setting a balance there, basically. Number four is building an internal sense of I am chosen, right? There are different reasons that you might be anxiously attached, and there's different ways that this could manifest. It could manifest in you doing things that just shows a low level of self-esteem. So you need to build that internal sense of I am chosen. Choose yourself, value yourself. Anxious attachment often relies on other people to confirm their worth, and that is just terrible, terrible, terrible. I have learned honestly to choose myself, to validate myself, to tell myself who I am. I do not need someone else to tell me who I am. Basically, I know who I am. I know my value. I know what I bring, and I am bold enough to stand by that, basically. So become secure. And you can do this when you practice self attunement, basically. So what you can do is ask yourself daily is, what do I need right now? What would help me feel safe, and follow through consistently. Because if you're not consistent, this is how you don't build self trust, right? So to build self trust, you need to create that security first within yourself, right? And this could manifest by, or you could do this basically by small acts. Rest, set boundaries, be honest with your expression. Like I said, you're not trying to invalidate your feelings, right? Be honest with your expressions. And all of this would definitely accumulate into self trust, which is the basically the foundation for security, right? Number five is choose relationships that support security. Oh my goodness, I cannot overemphasize this. I have literally, um, I cannot overemphasize this. Go where you are chosen. Go to the place where they choose you. Go to the place where you are chosen. So what I'm saying, like, I personally, I cannot be with someone who is avoidant, right? I want to be with someone who's securely attached, so they're not afraid to connect, and also they're not afraid to be on their own. Because honestly, also sometimes I just want to be on my own, and sometimes I want to connect with my friends and my people, basically. So choose relationship that support security, because if you go and you know that you're anxiously attached, or you have the tendency to be anxiously attached, and you go and be with an avoidant person, it's going to be at your own detriment, because at the end of the day they're going to do something that is going to disrupt your whole nervous system and even make it worse than it has ever been before. It's going to make you start doubting yourself, doubting your worth, doubting it's going to play on your self-esteem. It's going to play on a lot. So I would just say be slow in choosing your people, be slow in choosing your tribe. There's nothing wrong in doing that, honestly. Go where you're chosen, go to places where that creates a sense of security for you. And look for people who are consistent, not cold, not hot today, cold tomorrow. Consistency is also very good and would help. People who can tolerate emotional closeness, they're not afraid to be emotionally close. Because avoidant people is, if it's getting very when they're getting close to people, they tend to move away for no fault of theirs. All these things go back to how we connected as children, as growing up and all of that. And but then, as I said, as adults, it's our responsibilities to you know heal and be securely attached and go to and outgrow the unhealthy attachment style and get to securely attached, which is a healthy attachment style, basically. So, a secure or healing partner can also co-regulate with you, but they cannot, they could never replace self-regulation. The majority, the bulk of the work comes from you, but their partners, I pray you find partners like that. They can co-regulate with you. They're kind enough to help you say, okay, babe, if it's a romantic partner, babe, I think you are reading too much emotional meaning to this. This is what it is. And say, could you like calm down and let me explain? Communication also helps. So if you can be with a partner that communicates properly and can understand where you're coming from and can co-regulate with you, that can also help you, tend towards the being securely attached. But it's nobody's responsibility to do that for you. But if they're kind enough to do that with you, great, good for you. And number six is reparent the wounded attachment part of yourself, basically. This is powerful and often overlooked, right? All right. So visualize a part of you that fears abandonment. Like, what is it about someone leaving you that makes you so scared that you just feel so anxious? So you need to like heal that part of you, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to be on your own. You don't have to have, there are people who, if they do not have an active relationship, romantic relationship, they'll be freaking out. Like they can literally not survive it. Like they need to be in a relationship to feel all right. They need someone to be reassuring them. They need someone to tell them how beautiful they are. They need someone to tell them how intelligent they are. They need someone to tell them how much they are ace in life, basically. But that is not a good place to be. I think you need to be 100% on your own first and attached to another person who is 100%, and that makes for such a great combination. So basically, visualize part of you that fears abandonment, then practice talking to it kindly, reassuring it consistently, protecting it with boundaries. Cannot overemphasize boundaries. There are people who have professed love to me, you know, but their actions have just said otherwise. And what do I do in that point? I say the way you're showing up is not good enough for me. So I take myself out of the picture because I'm not going to be in a place that just aggravates and just disrupts all the work that I'm putting into myself. That's not healthy, and I'm not going to be there. So yeah, these are the 6 points that I've come up with to tell you how I have worked on my attachment style and I'm still working on it, and how this is how you build and earn secure attachment. I hope this helps someone out there who may also be anxiously attached. I just want to let you know that you're enough, you're good, and you can heal the attachment style. You can practice healthy detachment to a point where you can stand alone and be confident in yourself and love yourself, because you're beautiful and you're gorgeous and God loves you. All right. So this brings us to the end of this episode. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short and cute because we're going to go on to other things. Okay. Yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, could you please subscribe, pretty please? This will help my page grow, also help the algorithm. If you could actually engage with me, what's your attachment style? What have you grown from? What are you outgrowing? Where are you right now? What has been your experience? Let's create a community here and grow together. How about that? Okay, so I love you guys. This is not a goodbye from me. It is I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.